I haven't got too long, so I'll get started. I mean, I can begin by saying I just loved the movie. I'm really pleased. I got to see it on the big screen because I got to the big press screening at the BFI, and it just felt like a really sort of special piece of British filmmaking, one of the best I've seen this year. So yeah, congratulations on the film. But
thank you.
Obviously, with the praise I've just given, it's pretty clear to see why it's a project you want to get involved in. But what was it for you that made you think, right, I have to take this role, I have to get involved in County Lines?
I mean, I immediately recognized those people and the themes in the film. They struck a chord with me immediately, and I was just impressed upon by Henry, like the social significance of it. I couldn't not be involved.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because it felt so familiar. I mean, the scenes at school felt like I was watching my own school sort of playing back to me. I don't usually kind of see that. Did that authenticity come off in the screenplay when you first read it?
It really did. When I first read it, well, first of all, when I got the notification about it from my agent with the script attached, and I read the blurb, I thought in my head, oh God, is this going to be like an urban drama? And it wasn't. Like, I was so blown away by the authenticity and the style of the writing. Like, I love the starkness of it. And then I was scheduled to have a FaceTime meeting with Henry, and in my head I thought that I was going to meet a Black man from South London. Like, that's what I thought I was about to meet. And then when this jolly Kiwi got on, I was very taken aback. Just goes to show, you never know.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because I mean, because I just spoke to Harris and Conrad as well, and it sounds like Henry really knew his stuff. I mean, how important is that and helpful is that when you're deep? Because I mean, obviously this is all steeped in reality. So when you're dealing with a filmmaker who has met these people and met, spoken to so many people that have gone through what the characters have gone through, that must be so great as a reference point for yourselves if you've got any questions.
Yeah, it's incredibly important. And Henry is he's so emotionally invested because he knows these people. He's writing from personal experience, and it was so important to him to tell a genuine story and to give a real insight into it, and not to sugarcoat anything. He was an anchor for everybody on set, I think.
I was speaking to Harris earlier today as well. He was saying that he really recognised, like you were saying, these characters. I just wondered about, obviously, in regards to the role of Tony. Did she feel like someone you've met before? And did you bring in those kind of reference points from your real life and maybe people you've encountered in your life to help sort of craft your performance?
Absolutely. The first time I read the script, I had a visceral emotional response to it, because I know women like that. My mother really reminds me of Tony in some aspects. And that's not to say my mum was a bad mother, but just there's a kind of a fragility and a strength to Tony that I recognized in my own mum. And I definitely drew from my mum in creating Tony. I remember like my mum going to school to have to talk to teachers about my brother. And on one hand, you want to advocate for your child, but on the other hand, like, you don't want to be taken for a dickhead. Like, it's a difficult position to be in. Yeah. I saw my mum battle with that a lot.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because as well, it is one of those movies that kind of, it feels like it transcends entertainment, actually verges into one of those movies that feels like an important film, a film that really kind of needs a story that needs to be told. It must be quite so gratifying as an actress to be involved in films like that feel like they're not just out there as means of escapism, which then there is a place for films and TV shows like that, but this feels like a film that is really telling us something and really has an important place in the kind of British film canon.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt that from the moment I was reading the scripts, and I felt that when I was on set, it felt really special, and it felt, gratifying is a good way to describe it, actually. I think that what Henry did really well is that even though there is a message behind it and a social significance, it also is just like a film about family. It's like a mother and son relationship at the core of the film. I think he did that really well.
Because you shot most of your scenes with two actors, that were much younger than you. You were kind of, obviously, the majority of your scenes were with your two sort of on-screen children. So I just wondered if you quite enjoyed that kind of sense of responsibility that came with kind of being that presence on set.
It's funny, I didn't feel like that presence on set, because I still feel like I'm 15 and in West Norwood most of the time. But I think that I was cognizant that with Conrad especially, that our relationship needed to be quite fraught. So it almost didn't, it wasn't great for us to be too social and too friendly on set. So I was aware of that. So I sometimes kept my distance from Conrad, but not with Tabitha. With Tabitha, I was always like either braiding her hair or talking to her about something. And she's a really easy girl to do that with.
Yeah, because Conrad was saying earlier that he really felt he was like learning from sort of the older heads on set, the more experienced heads on set. I just wondered who your equivalent was when you kind of got into this industry. Did you have a fellow actor or director or even a teacher that you remember really helping to sort of push you in the right path and give you some good advice and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I was lucky enough that one of my first ever jobs was a film called Storm Damage that was written by Lenny James, and Lenny also was in it. So Lenny James was a huge influence on me. I think I was either 15 or 16 when I did that film. Adrian Lester as well. For years after, I would bother him, email him questions about things, and they were two of my biggest influences in going to drama school.
Yeah, because Lenny is, I mean, he's just incredible, isn't he?
Oh my God, Lenny is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he's one of those people that I am in awe of. I think he feels like, I mean, Save Me, that TV series he did as well. The way he kind of put it all together, he's a genius, that man. He really is.
He really is.
Yeah. So as someone, of course, because in this industry, this year has been a bit kind of crazy, and obviously as someone who's an actor in this industry, you travel a lot for work, obviously taking roles in all different parts of the world or different parts of the UK. What's it been like this year to kind of be back at home for sort of large parts of the year? Have you quite enjoyed that kind of breather, or have you sort of been itching to get back out there and start working again?
I think it's been a mixture of both. I was very grateful to be here. We had a cat who passed away, and I knew that I think, wow, if I wasn't here, that Oscar would have gone without me being here, which sounds silly, but I know that it would have destroyed me to have been somewhere shooting something and not have been here for Oscar. So in that respect, it was great to be here and take pause. On the other aspect, yes, I definitely have itchy feet. I can't wait to work. It feels like I haven't worked in a decade. I think it's coming up to a year, but it feels like a decade.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about Oscar. Oh, my first cat was called Oscar as well. It's a great name.
Oh, really? It's such a good name for a cat.
It is. Oh, so, but so I was wondering, sort of you said getting itchy feet. Now, have you got much in the kind of pipeline? And is there any kind of projects in the future?
Like so many of us, a project that I was due to go and do has fallen apart. So I don't know what's next. I'm at the point now where more and more things are meeting again, and we're doing virtual meetings, which I find incredibly frustrating. I've had chemistry reads over Zoom. There is no chemistry over Zoom. Very difficult.
Yeah. Have you had to do many Zoom quizzes? Because I swear to God, I'm done with Zoom quizzes now.
I did one right at the beginning, and I'm never doing another one. I hate it when there's too many people on the Zoom.
Yeah. Well, also we did that thing at the beginning when my friends would go like, let's have like Zoom drinks. You just think it didn't make me feel like I was happy to see everyone. It actually just made me more upset. I wasn't in the same room as everyone. I wasn't.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Obviously, County Lines is a film that, because like I said at the beginning, I mean, I saw it in the cinema, which I was so pleased to have done. It's still getting released that way. You must be. Have you got any kind of plans to see it? Because obviously, to go out and see it, or to get to watch it with sort of family or anything. Because I know it's coming quite soon.
I have seen it. I saw it at the BFI last year, so I saw it on the big screen then with my mum and dad. And then I watched it here with my husband. We got a screener. I don't know if I'll watch it again. I hate to watch myself anyway. So yeah, I don't know if that's 2 times more than I would usually watch anything that I'm in.
It's even more hard to kind of watch yourself when you put so much of yourself into a performance, because this is quite raw, isn't it? Your performance.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It brings it all up again, that how you felt on that day. And I have a tendency to be hypercritical of my performances and to look for the moment where I don't think I'm telling the truth. And I don't know if that is necessarily helpful. So I've tried to not.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd be human if you weren't doing that. But you've got very little to criticise. It's a fantastic performance and a really great movie. So I've just hit the end of my time. But thank you so much for your time today. And yeah, best of luck with the release and any of the projects you have coming up as well.
Thank you. Good luck with the puppy.
Yes, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice. Hey, you guys!